Hi, this is Michael with Peace and Favor, where we help you to find your path to peace. And I'm hoping that this site and our talks about the Hidden Village will encourage you and help you to find peace in your own life, find a sense of home. We've talked about tail feathers for the past couple of videos, and that's not going to stop. I'm going to do that every time, I think. But I want to remind everyone of why I'm doing this, and it's that I want to create home where we haven't had home. I realized that when we're around our immediate family, we have the sense of home, but it's like to open the door is for us to kind of disappear. And it's like we're going into someone else's space, someone else's home. And I want to show that actually, when it comes to the United States, wherever we walk, we probably had a hand in developing that area. And we can be just as proud of anything that occurs there. When you look at who got what done, it's amazing. My father, he had this story he would tell of, I guess on a tail feather, had the story he would tell of when he was in North Dakota. He was in the Air Force, but he was stationed in North Dakota for a period of time there with his family, and he this was before my time, and he wanted to get back down to Florida, and so he put in a letter to a member of, I think it was part of one of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in the government. And the reason he was able to do it is because his mother used to babysit this guy when he was a little child. And she would say, I used to spank his behind. He was there, and this guy has gotten a very prestigious white man, of course, obviously, very prestigious position in the United States, power. And yet, my grandmother, at that time, actually it was my grandmother, it was my great-grandmother. She helped raise this person as a child. She's in no books anywhere, what she did, her contribution to this country. But that gentleman is, I won't say his name, but he was way up in the military. And as a result of, he got a letter, and my dad in it said, I'm so-and-so's grandson. She was so-and-so in your life. The guy remembered, sent him a letter back with recommendation. Next thing you know, he had papers coming down to Florida. That's just a tale that I tell, but it's like, no, people in the family don't talk about it because they don't know. Me and Pop were talking one time, and he's going on about stuff, and I asked him some questions, and he gave me more detail. It's like, that is absolutely amazing, that you could actually talk to one of the highest leaders in the military, send a letter to, and get a response because your grandmama raised him as a little child, all right? That's just mind-blowing to me. But if you knew his grandmother, you could understand why, even as a grown man, you would still have respect for her because she had an amazing, powerful presence. Not someone to be trifled with. But anyway, family, right? And again, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to give us a sense of family. You too have stories. And I would challenge you to ask the older members of your family about how they got where they are. What did they have to go through to get here? What experiences did they have coming up? And rather than going, oh, that was just back then, find out, well, what did it feel like? How did you handle going through these things, treated the way you were treated? And it's amazing the things you can learn, all right? And those types of stories help me to feel better and be more courageous about facing situations that I come in today, because our challenges, honestly, when I look at what our forefathers went through, our challenges don't really compare. They're just not that daunting. And their lives were constantly at risk. and for the stupidest things. And but that was the time. And so this is my little tail feather for today. Again, I want to remind you we're doing this to actually encourage your kids. But before we get there, I think we need to have a little family conversation about what is family and who are we and what impact have we had on this country. Because we are Americans. And if you look at my other videos, you know what I mean by Americans. We are Americans. And as such, we have every right to and reason to be proud of our heritage here and what we've accomplished, what we're accomplishing now, and what we will accomplish through the efforts of our children. But still, we're setting the path for our children. That's why we have the 4 tenets of the Hidden Village, because it's all about preparing the way for our children who are going to do greater things. So our ancestors may have started out as slaves in a foreign land, but what we have accomplished as descendants is to be lauded. And I think it's time that it's done, and I think it begins with us. This is Michael with Peace and Favor. God bless.